Welcome, friends, to the Girl Mom Podcast. This is Carrie Kempakis, your host. Today's episode is about having people in your life who let you vent and share the raw and nitty-gritty emotions that come with being a mom. As we all know, we live in an age where people air dirty laundry on Facebook and talk uncensored to their kids. And besides making us look bad, this hurts our relationships and leads us to say or do things we'll later regret. In my own life, I've discovered that having a few adults who let me safely vent helps me stay strong in front of my kids and not go straight to social media with every complaint that I have. Just getting it off my chest with someone I trust makes me feel better and more calm. Whether you're listening to this episode alone or with that friend who is your safe place, I hope you find it relevant and helpful. This message is also available on my website as a new blog post. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show. Trust me, moms, I get it. I get what it's like to have a bad day as a mother, to be frustrated with my child, someone else's child, someone impacting my child, or an issue affecting our family. I've felt that annoyance that needs a way out. I understand the urge to vent, scream, complain, blurt out the first thoughts that come to mind, or give someone a piece of my mind. I know the relief of getting a burden off my chest and how cathartic it can be to talk uncensored, to be real and raw as I work through my emotions, especially tricky ones like anger. Yet here is what else I know. Regret. Regret for speaking too soon. Regret for not calming down first. Regret for acting on a knee-jerk reaction or not waiting to get the full story. Regret for the hurt that I caused, the maturity I failed to show, or the conversation I wish I had never started. Our generation is different than our parents' generation. One, we have social media, and two, they had better boundaries. They didn't contact people after 9 o'clock at night or publicly share every detail of their life. And while I'm glad it's less taboo for us to openly share our struggles, it's worth considering who we share our struggles with. Is it people that we're actually close to or acquaintances online? Too often, what should be a private conversation becomes a public conversation on Facebook. And if we post while we're upset, emotional, or not in a good place, we'll lose credibility and respect. We'll hurt relationships and reputations. Still, I understand a mother's need to vent, and in my new book for moms of teen girls, I discuss the importance of moms having a safe place to vent. We all get frustrated, and processing our emotions privately can keep us from losing it publicly. It takes us from emotional post, which is from the amygdala, the primitive part of the brain, and the center of fight or flight, to more measured post, from the prefrontal cortex of the brain, the rational part, the center of reason and long-term thinking. It increases the odds that we won't speak or act regrettably. My friend has a daughter who was a star athlete in high school. She was captain of her team, and due to her talent, she always had a spotlight on her. Her younger teammates looked up to her, and everyone respected her, and she kept their respect by following this advice her mom once gave her. Stay positive around your teammates, her mom told her. Don't complain, vent, or talk about anyone. Save it for me. Vent to me and give your best to the team. Encourage them and be a role model. I love this advice because it acknowledges how we all need a safe place to vent, yet there's a disciplined way to do it. We can unload frustrations without losing our temper or going postal in public. Rather than come emotionally unhinged, we can save it for behind closed doors. We can show maturity in hard moments and be a respected leader who people actually listen to. This is key for parents of teenagers. Ask any therapist who works with teenagers, and they'll share some heartbreaking stories of the cutting remarks parents have made to their teens in the heat of frustration. I understand a parent's breaking point, yet I'm most sympathetic to the damage that an unfiltered outburst can cause. As Dr. Gary Chapman says in the 5 love languages of teenagers, there's a better way to motivate teenagers than by yelling cruel or condemning words. Dr. Chapman writes, most teenagers are struggling with self-identity. They are comparing themselves with their peers physically, intellectually, and socially. Many are concluding that they simply do not measure up. Many feel insecure, have little self-esteem, and blame themselves. If there's a stage in life where humans need more affirming words, it would certainly be during the teenage years. Yet this is the very stage at which parents often turn to negative words in their efforts to get their teenager to do what the parents believe is best. So how do we deal as moms? How do we stay strong and resist the urge to vent to our children or gripe on Facebook? I believe the answer is to 1, pray and ask God for help. And 2, find a safe place to vent. Pick someone in your innermost circle, your spouse, best friend, mom, sister, hairdresser, therapist, anyone, someone who listens well and won't betray your confidence. Having a still vault who keeps your secrets safe helps you stay strong. It reduces the chance of you dropping an ill-timed bomb or ranting to the wrong person. It keeps you under control and gives you time to think. Most importantly, it gives you an ally to laugh with as you admit what you wanted to say or post versus what you actually said and posted. We live in an age where it's common and acceptable to tell people off to their face or go straight to Facebook with every complaint. We're a generation of parents that often lacks the strong adult relationships our parents had because we're busier, more distracted, and centering our lives around our kids, often sacrificing our relationships and well-being to unhealthy degrees. What I've realized in my own life, especially as my kids grow up, is that building a strong adult network is a form of self-care. Besides the obvious mental health benefits, it gives me people to turn to when I need to vent, seek advice, or process life out loud. Sometimes just getting my thoughts and feelings out, without fear of being judged or written off, is enough to help me breathe and get to a more rational state of mind. Life is hard and our country is on edge, so give your mom friends a safe place to vent. Be the friend who listens, knows their heart, and loves them despite their crazy. Encourage your friends to stay strong in front of their kids and sane on social media by saving their rawest self for you. If we all did this, if we helped each other behind the scenes get to a better place, can you imagine how much more positive we would be at home and online? We'd have fewer regrets and better relationships. We'd be adults who act like adults. We'd have good conversations even when we disagree, and we'd like ourselves as we live with intention. It's not easy to set boundaries and choosing where to vent, but it's worth it because these are the role models our children need. That is how we help the next generation, by allowing them to see what we hope they will eventually be. Friends, thank you for tuning in today. I'm so grateful to have you here. If you enjoyed this show, please tell your friends, leave a ratings or review, and subscribe on iTunes so you can access new episodes as soon as they drop. Also, my new book for moms of teenage girls is now available, and it's getting a terrific response, so check it out in the show notes. I'm thankful to be on this journey with you, and I'm praying for you and those special girls in your life.